today we're going to tour the clock, the famous clock that was donated by none other than Emily Fairbanks Goodell, the wife, mind you, of the minister way back in 1877. And this is the clock. Now, this wasn't the original location of the clock. The original location of the clock was at Washington and Ewing during the first churches being built. But when that church was sold and the congregation moved to the current location over here at 826 Union, then when they did that, they also had to move the clock and the bells. So this is the second location for the clock. But you'll see right here that this clock was made by the E. Howard Clock Company of Boston in 1877. Wow, long time ago. So here's what the clock looks like when it's not moving. There's all these gears and ropes and pulleys and all sorts of cords and everything, and they come into here, and these things go up and down and around. And then over on this side, there's even more. There's little tiny ones over there, and they come into here. And all of this movement, everything on here, culminates in this thing right here. And it goes up, this thing turns, this thing turns, this thing turns, and when this thing turns up here, holy cow, look what happens. This goes out to one of the clock faces. That one goes out to a second clock face. This one goes out to a third clock face. And this one over here goes to the fourth clock face. And there's even hints on the wall here on how to reset the clock. So when all this thing's working, and it hasn't worked for probably 50 years, but when all this is working, it's just fascinating to watch. Now what we are going to do right now is we're going to turn the clock on so that you can see how the gears work down there. And Nathaniel's going to record this as we turn this on. And you can see this all turning now. It's all turning, and these all turn here, and this thing here. Hear this knocking here? It's knocking because it's broke, not because it's part of the mechanism, but that's okay. So this is all turning. This part of the clock isn't moving yet, and it won't be because the center part of the clock is still broke. Now we're going to go to the other side. Now when we turn this side on, these are weird, aren't they? These aren't on the other side. You know what these are? These things turn with the clock, and look at this. They come over here, and these things go up and down, and when they go up and down, these things go up and down, and when these go up and down, holy cow, look what happens. They hit the bells. These things pull on the bells. So as this goes around, as this clock part here goes around, it plays a tune based upon where these things are and what bells are hooked up on top. So now we're going to turn this off and then turn both sides on, and I'll show you how it works. And here we go, and it's going to make some noise. I think that's